Hey, so I want to do pros and cons of stretching your ears. Um, I'll start by giving a little bit of background as to why I stretch my ears. I actually don't really know why I started doing it. Um, I just kind of did 2 years ago, and kind of got obsessed with it. It's really addicting. Um, that's kind of a pro and a con. Pro part of it is that it's really fun, and it's something that I can focus on. That's, I guess, as I like to think of it, a more healthy way to kind of don't really know how to say this. Well, I used to hurt myself, and I guess this is a healthy way to focus on something else that doesn't hurt me, and but it makes me feel better, just like dyeing my hair is. Um, but it's also a con because you can get so obsessed with it that you just want to keep stretching up and up. Because it's like I used to think that this was so big, but that was back when I was at like a 10, you know. And now I see them and I'm just like, they're so small. I just want to go bigger. And so it's, and yet you don't want to like hurt your ears, so you have to be really careful. Um, if I have to kind of restrain myself from stretching, um, which gets really hard at times because sometimes it's just like I really want to do it. Um, one of the pros is I think they're absolutely beautiful. Like, I see stretched ears on someone and I'm just like, gorgeous, you know? Um, it's kind of like something that I first noticed about people. Like, I mean, of course, only people with stretched ears, you know. It's like I immediately go to their ears. Um, I think it's a really cool way to be able to express yourself. Um, because you can have plugs or tapers or tunnels that have stuff in it that you like. Um, like I've seen people with like plugs that have like pictures in them of like shows and stuff that they like. That's partly why I started doing my business of making plugs because I wanted to be able to give other people a chance to have really creative things that kind of show their personality. Because I often have a hard time finding plugs that I really like, you know, that are really me. Like for my sister-in-law's birthday, I made her a pair of plugs that had sequins in them. One side was pink sequins, the other side was purple sequins. Because she loves sequins. She loves sparkle and stuff like that. And of course, pink and purple are two of her favorite colors. And she absolutely loved them because they were so her. And I want to bring other people that joy too. Um, so like right now, I just have a plain jade plug in that one, and then like a stainless steel tunnel in this one. And I'd like to have like more, like I'd like to have cooler ones in, but at the same time, I know I'm gonna be stretching up, and so I don't want to buy too many. Like I already have 3 pairs of this size, and I can only ever wear one of each pair, like one plug out of each pair. Um, so I'm really trying to stretch this ear up so that I can wear the other one. Then I'm gonna stay at that for maybe a month because I don't know if I'd be able to wait any longer. Because I've been really wanting to stretch up this year because it's stretchy, like it's ready to do it, and I'm just saying no, no. Another really awesome thing about them, little kids go crazy about them. So I was at my friend's house, and her little sisters and her sister's friends were like, "Oh my God, that's so cool! Stick your finger through your ear," and all this kind of stuff. I had to stick my finger through my ear like 5 times for them, maybe more, because they just thought it was the coolest thing, like I was magic or something. It's really awesome. um, and like I don't know, a lot of people think it's really cool. Like people who don't think that they'd ever be able to do it, they think it's really cool that I do. Um, to me, it's just kind of like second nature now. I don't even remember having like normal ears, which I like because I didn't like normal ears. I like big stretched ears. I think they're pretty. Um, so like, I don't know. I do get a lot of dirty looks, and that's kind of a pro and a con. The pro part is that it's funny, and I'm just like, you look at me and you think I'm a bad child, but what you don't see is that I'm actually completely straight edge, you know? Like, I am a good kid, and people will see me with my dyed hair and my stretched ears, my piercings, and think, oh, she's just a delinquent, oh, she drinks, oh, she smokes, oh, she does drugs. I'm just like, nope, I don't. Sorry to disappoint you. Um, but it's a con because then, like, I don't know, sometimes I don't like the looks that people give me because they're just like judging me on how I look. But I know that looking this way is what I'm gonna get, and I get a lot of people who support me, and that um, is what keeps me going strong. Um, I think that stretch ears are really interesting to look at. That's another pro. Um, like you can do a lot of cool things with them. Like I've seen some like really pretty like octopus tentacle like tapers and everything. Like you can really get some awesome ones. And I just think it's like way cooler than normal earrings because like everyone can have normal earrings, but it's just cool to have like tentacles in your ears, you know? Um, it's a big conversation starter. Like if you see someone else with stretched ears or someone asks you about it, then you can just talk to them about it. And like I always have a hard time talking to people, and so that kind of helps because I know a lot about stretching ears, and so I can talk about it and sound smart, I guess. Um, cool thing about these is like when you run out of piercings that you want, you can always go bigger. Well, not always, but like you can it like kind of prolongs the joy of the piercing. Um, and I like that because like in between getting piercings, um, it's nice to still be able to stretch my ears. Like the only reason I'm able to not stretch this one is because I'm also stretching my second hold and this one. And so that kind of gives me my dose of stretching. Um, and now some of the cons. There aren't very many. Um, if you don't clean them well enough, um, they'll get really stinky. Like, swallowing something dyed in your ears or something. Um, if you stretch them wrong, like if you're past a size 0 and you taper your ears, um, especially with like acrylic tapers, or you try to use silicone to stretch, it can be really painful, first of all, and second of all, you risk blowing out your ears, and blowouts are like the most horrible thing ever. Um, they're disgusting, and then you have to like downsize, but if you're smart, you downsize. Um, yeah, that's why this one's smaller, because I blew it out, and it just, oh, it was bad. It was horrible, 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 horrible. Bleh, sorry. Yeah, so you want to be really careful, like, how you stretch it. That's why I recommend taping after, like, a 0. I'd even recommend it for smaller sizes, too, because you can get little tiny, like, 14 gauge plugs, um, I don't like it's really easy to go from an 18, which is a normal earring size, to a 16. Like that's what I did with this one. That's a 16. I just slipped it in because it's not that much bigger than 18. Um, and then going even from that to a 14, really not that big of a difference. So with those, you can kind of just use like the little rings with balls. Totally slipped my mind what they're called right now. Um, circular barbells. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what they're called. And so you can just like use those for going up to like a 14, maybe even a 12. Um, but then like you want to get like a plug in the size. that you want to be at. Like when I stretched the little ears, or the second holes, the little ears, I got a little 14 gauge plug and I taped it up to 10. And then I got a pair of 8s and a pair of 6s, and so right now I'm using the 8s and I'm taping them. But it's just easier to tape because it doesn't hurt as much, and you can control how much you stretch it once. So really, it's just like the best method. So, but when you do tape them, make sure you only use the Teflon tape. It's also called PTFE tape or plumber tape or thread seal tape, whatever. But it looks like this. You want to use this stuff only. Because if you use something like electrical tape or scotch tape, then it's really going to fuck up your ears. Because the reason you use the thread seal tape is because it's not porous. It doesn't have any like little dents or anything to where bacteria can get stored in there. Like, because that can happen if you use like electrical tape or like scotch tape or something like that. So you want to always use that kind of tape. I think that's all the pros and cons that I have right now. So subscribe, comment. I'll have more videos soon.